Today, let's work to create a better blog post and take a look at some free keyword research tools along the way. Universe Unriddled, this is my AI blog. The case study is here on the channel, link in the description. You can check that out. Moon phase mythology and folklore, unraveling lunar legends. So the keyword that I was going for here was moon phase mythology and folklore. It's a pretty long tail, and I think we can take what we have here. We can definitely make this blog post better. Now, there are some elements that I've added here into this post that provide information gain. For example, this table. The formatting is a little wonky. We can definitely improve that. So we'll take a look at improving this post all the way around. But first and foremost, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this down so you can see the URL. And I am simply going to copy that URL, take it to our first free keyword tool, and probably the best free keyword tool all around because you're interfacing directly with Google at this point. We're going to click Discover New Keywords. Here you can start with the keyword. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the website, and I'm going to use that page only, and I'm going to say Get Results. This is going to show you the actual keywords that Google sees for this page. This page has been created by AI. It was created with keywords that came up by AI to create or to build topical authority inside of a content cluster around the moon or phases of the moon. But you can see here that we have 1,264 keyword ideas available, and that is just a list of keywords. One cool thing here that a lot of people don't know about Keyword Planner, or an option, is you can toggle the keyword view to group to view. It will then take those keywords and it will group them into categories. Categories that you can either then take and add into your blog post or expand your topical authority or your content clusters based upon these different categories. Then you can just click here and expand that, and you can see for moon birthday, moon phase birthday, moon phases and birthdays, birthday and moon phases for birthdays, moon and birthday. You get the idea. It has grouped these by relevance, and again, you just toggled that right there. And again, this is 100% for free. Now understand the competition here, the monthly searches, these are all averages, or the average monthly searches are averages. You would need to actually set up and forecast to see actual keyword data or the impressions that you would possibly get if you were running an ad for this. But understand that running ads and doing paid traffic is the same idea and concept of you trying to generate free traffic. People are typing in that search term in Google, and people are going to pay for that, and Google is going to show you the number of impressions that you're going to get. And we're going to take a look at an example, specifically an example that you'd probably want to bid on, but you'd also want to create a blog post for, but starting with this phases of the moon, or to go back to this blog post to create interest and create information around moon phases. One of the things here is we're talking about mythology and folklore, unraveling the lunar legends, because Universe Unriddled, or the blog Universe Unriddled, is focused on this content, or focused on building out content for these clusters and writing all the answers and questions that we could possibly answer, starting with this one blog post to make it better. So anyway, we go back to Keyword Planner and we're looking at these keywords. So then we say, okay, what do I do with that information? Well, because we're using AI, we're going to take all this information and we're going to pull it over to ChatGPT and do a little work. But before we do that, I want to go back to understanding that we're looking inside a Keyword Planner, but also understand inside a Google Search Console, we're looking at the impressions and we're looking at the queries. Again, for this page, this is real data coming from Google. So you have this data once you create the post. But even if you don't create the post, if you're just looking at my blog or another blog for competition, that is where you're doing the keyword research utilizing this page to look at the competition and say, okay, what's next? What are people asking? Again, toggling this and saying, let me do a group to view look here so I can see the different categories so I can make sure I'm covering down on all the answers, which leads me to another great site. It's free. Now, this doesn't give you keyword volume, but what it does, if you were to look at the frequently asked questions, Answer Socrates, the frequently asked questions here, answers what is this for, this page. It discovers questions that real people are asking on Google to help you write a thorough research-based article, answer every possible question about your product, brainstorm ideas, and gain deeper insight on almost any topic. Who's this for? Writers, SEOs, researchers, question enthusiasts. How does it work? It combines a brute force of Google suggestions. People also ask featured questions and Google Trends data to show you relevant and interesting questions. So I came up with moon, myths, and legends as one of the keywords that I wanted to focus on from the keyword data inside of this report. Again, you go back and you can look at the actual keywords here. And if you were to search for legends, you can see moon, myths, and legends. You can also see moons, myths, and legends from around the world. I'm really not focused on the competition or the average monthly searches because this is really just an informational query, and I'm working to just fill out or utilize all this data to fill out my topical authority cluster or create content clusters that answers all these questions. So I took that one just as an example, and then I just highlighted everything on this page or all of these questions, all 61 of these questions. I just highlighted those and copied those, took those back over to ChatGPT, and I said, create an SEO optimized blog post outline to answer these questions. So again, we're looking at free tools to do keyword research. We're pulling in all that keyword data from all those different free tools. Of course, we start with Google Search Console. If it's our blog post, we can see the real live data, the impressions and the clicks that we're getting. Then we take that over to Keyword Planner. If that wasn't our site, we wouldn't have that information inside of Google Search Console, but then we could take that URL and get that data from inside of Keyword Planner. But then we go to we go to Socrates, and we look and we pull those questions and we feed that into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT then becomes a keyword research tool. And you scroll down and you can see creating an SEO optimized blog post outline based on the provided list of moon myth questions involves organizing these questions into cohesive thematic sections that enhance readability and SEO performance. Here's a suggested outline. Now, I talked about that chart that I did or that table, and I talked about information gain. This is another great question to ask when you're doing keyword research, is to look for things that you can add based upon the keywords that you found inside of Keyword Planner and over at, and I always want to say Socrates because it's funny, but Socrates, and you could say, what information gain can be added to make this better? Then it's going to break down each part in each section, and it's going to talk about things that you could add to your post. Here you can see part 4, cultural perspectives and scientific facts. We can provide side-by-side comparisons, offer a detailed comparison between the mythological and scientific explanations of the moon's phenomena, such as lunar eclipses, phases of the moons, and its impact on tides. This could be presented in a dual column format for clarity. This is a table that most likely we can create inside of ChatGPT or the tool that I'm going to show you in a second to rewrite that blog post. Utilizing this outline and all this keyword research that we have done. I just wanted to throw that in there because it's very important to understand that we're looking at keyword research, but we're thinking about this holistically, how to make a better blog post. So now inside of ChatGPT, we say, give me 30 LSI keywords for this, and I pasted in the blog post, and then it gives me, or it's going to give me 30 latent semantic indexing keywords or LSI keywords related to the blog post. And again, these are already things that we're working for, but we're just feeding this into ChatGPT. So we have all this information. So then when we take it over to the one-click tool that I'm going to use to improve this blog post, by having the AI tool actually rewrite this, I'm going to utilize all this information again inside of Keyword Planner, again inside of Answer Socrates, and inside of ChatGPT, having it generate these LSI keywords based upon the idea and the concept of it generating an outline based upon the information or all the questions that we found from these tools, these free tools that are out there that we can take a look at. So then I'm going to take these LSI keywords that we've narrowed down, and I'm just going to copy all 30 of those, and you could do more if you wanted to, but I'm just going to copy that. Then I'm going to take that into my tool, Koala Writer, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to generate a blog post. Here I'm going to rewrite the blog post. I could start a brand new blog post, but I'm going to rewrite the one that I already have. The target keyword, I'm going to go ahead and manually target all of these keywords. But the target keyword that I wanted to go after was moon phase, mythology, and folklore. And I'm going to copy that and go back. And again, I looked at a couple different target keywords. I think the main one that we were looking at or we came up with was moon, myth, and legends. But I think I'm going to stick with the core or the one that I originally started with. Because a lot of times you're trying to make things better, but you can sort of get derailed and sort of go off the path of what you're trying to accomplish. But anyway, I want to go back and I want to scroll down and I want to copy this. Because remember what I'm trying to do here. The intent of this video is to walk you through a process, to show you tools, but to really understand that we have this blog post. We know it already ranks, it's indexed for these keywords. Okay, that URL looks good. We can definitely rewrite this. And I can use these keywords to make sure I'm hitting all those questions. And then what I'm going to do, also, I can interlink all this utilizing the sitemap. And there's videos here on the channel that walk through Koala to show how to do this. And then I just select all of these to make it the most robust post that I possibly can create. And I'm going to create the outline. This is going to create an outline. It's going to take all those keywords from that keyword research tool. Again, using Answer Socrates, also Google Ads, Keyword Planner. And it's going to take that. It's going to look, and again, we generated some information gain topics that we can definitely create. So I want to make sure that I include cultural perspectives and scientific facts and create this side-by-side comparison inside of Koala. I wanted to do it for me. But remember, we just fed all this data into ChatGPT. So now ChatGPT has become our free research tool to go along with Answer Socrates as well as Google Keyword Planner. So a Koala Writer is going to spin a bit. It's going to create that outline and we're just going to look at it and compare. But I want to go back to Keyword Planner because I know a lot of people are asking and they're thinking, you're watching this video, that's great, but that's low competition. I'm not interested in that. I want to see clicks. I want to see impressions. I want to make sales. So check this out. Click Discover New Keywords and try this. Best telescope. Because one of the things is when you lead people through this content funnel, you could say best telescope to view, if I spell view, the moon correctly. So best telescope to view the moon. And you say get results because this is a buyer intent keyword. So if you're going to write a blog post about the phases of the moon and mythology and folklore, you're really leading people to this idea or concept of now that you're interested in the folklore of the moon, why not go outside and take a look at the moon? Here's the best telescope to view the moon. And this would be an article that you would write with that intent and then add your affiliate links or if you create and sell your own products around viewing the moon. But the point and the idea here is this is a free tool to look for the volume and get all the keywords that are relative to best telescope to view the moon. You can simply click here. Then you can add keywords to create a plan because here average monthly searches is spot on for averages. But if you want to see real data, what you can do is you can add that to a keyword plan like I showed you there. And then I can just say forecast. And then once you click forecast, you can say all saved keywords. Then you can see here, it's going to come up with a forecast for spending $100 on your average daily budget. You can see here, this is an automated bid strategy based upon how much money you're going to spend. But the idea and the key here is the number of clicks or the number of impressions of all those keywords. This is real data. Google Keyword Planner is saying for these keywords, we can expect 8 conversions, 144 clicks, and 693 impressions, meaning anytime anyone searches for this daily based upon this bid, then you're going to have these number of impressions, right? So that's sort of kind of like looking at keyword data and saying, okay, looking at volume and thinking, is this real? Should I go for that? Well, that's up to you and the keyword that you're going for, but the data is there and it's all based upon impressions, but it's based upon forecasting that out for actually running paid traffic, because at the end of the day, that's what Keyword Planner is for. But again, you go back and you look at that, you're looking at the keywords, you're looking at the keyword ideas, and again, you could group this and say group to view, and it could group those into relevance. So you have best telescope, the ability to see the moon, and then you can also see here uncategorized keywords, telescope for looking at the moon. So you could find a couple different searcher intents here based upon these categories. It's all available inside of this tool, which then takes us back to Koala and looking at this new outline that has been created. And one of the things you can see right off the bat is that Koala did not create the level of outline that we created for this ultimate guide. So we go back to ChatGPT and we scroll down here and you can see the power of taking all these tools and combining them, because now you can see that I've created this SEO optimized outline, which gave me the blog post, Exploring Moon, Myth, and Legends, a comprehensive guide, which gave me all these parts, focused on understanding moon, myths, and legends versus how did Koala started, the moon and ancient mythology, moon phase superstitions and rituals, the symbolism of crescent moons, and then it went into each one of these categories. And then it wrapped up with a conclusion and frequently asked questions. All this is great, but we can definitely make this better. I want to keep all this and I want to combine it all into one big cohesive guide that I can make this blog post better. And I do that by clicking here to add a section. I'll take that section name, or I'll take the section, or I'll take the information from ChatGPT, and then I'll say, okay, let's write a section on understanding moon myths and legends. And then you'll simply paste that in there, add in an extra section prompt, keywords, entities, and topics. And then we have all the information that we need for Koala to go ahead and write that for me, all in quote unquote one click, based upon the outline that we got here from this keyword data that we pulled from Answer Socrates, all starting inside of Keyword Planner, simply by going under Discover New Keywords, either starting with a keyword or starting with a website. But before you go, I want to show you a keyword tool or a keyword explorer tool. This is a keyword tool. It's called KeywordGap. This is to do keyword gap analysis, sort of like SEMrush does. Here, if you were to click on Explore Keyword, we could take that same keyword and do keyword analysis inside of a paid tool just for comparison. And we'll go ahead and we'll say moon myths and legends. We'll go ahead and select search. And then here you're going to see the power of a paid keyword tool versus the free keyword planner tool, and looking at Answer Socrates, because you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, if I want to take all that information and just know that I'm writing for people and I'm trying to build topical authority in those content clusters, which is what Google wants us to do. They want us to become the authority and answer all of the questions and do it naturally. But you could take this back to the Keyword Gap tool and you can say Keyword Explorer for moons, myths, and legend. You can instantly see the search volume here. Search volume is the number of times a keyword is searched for each month. We get our keywords database from Google Keywords Database and Google Suggest, all through their official API. So they're pulling this data from what we already looked at, and they're giving their calculation on that. You can see the cost per click. You can see the keyword ideas. You can see the total search volume. You can see the keyword overview over each month as it ranks. You also have more keyword data down here with trends, as well as if you click on this inside of this tool, it will show you keyword difficulty, and it will also give you SERP overviews, all inside this paid keyword tool. This is currently on AppSumo as of me shooting this video. There's a link in the description. You can get this for a one-time price, and it shows you a little different view. When you're looking at free tools are great, but paid tools are great as well. And you take all this, you combine it together, because the effort and the focus, or the effort that you want to put in learning these tools, free and paid, and the concept and the ideas of making a blog post better, is to pull all this information from everywhere and then put it into AI, and then use your brain, obviously, or attempt to use your brain, I hope, which is obvious, to create the best blog post ever, adding in that information gain, thinking how you can add in things like those charts or those tables that are going to show people, and of course, images and videos and any other type of interactive tools that you can create based upon your topic. That will make the blog post the best that it can be. And again, you can start for free with those free tools, but also take a look at KeywordGap. I'm pretty impressed by what I got for the money that I spent. There's a link in the description for that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.